Martin County's Heritage Station.
That almond joy, I've got eyes for that.
Yabba dabba do is right. It's Friday.
Fun day.
It's Friday.
Yeah, put a little spring in your hop. It's good, it's St. Patrick's Day. Everyone is Irish this weekend, whether you are or not. And may you drink till you turn green.
Fair enough. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you don't drink? Just
Well,
drink.
well, you know what? You could be green around the gills anyway.
I could.
All right.
That's right.
All right. I have to do this. So, especially today, opinions expressed are those of the show host, not WSTU or Treasure Coast broadcasters. Any reproduction or reuse of this program without the express written consent of WSTU is strictly prohibited.
Now, who would possibly want to reuse this show? I mean, it gets canned right at the end of this, doesn't it? I mean,
I don't know.
nobody
We've
saves
had a
it.
couple dicey shows in the past 20 years.
We save all that stuff, Mark. Hey, it's me. That's John
There's
Campion.
Johnny. Mhm.
Here I am,
Yes.
your hostess with the mostest. John Campion from European Kitchen and Bath here in Stewart and Vero Beach. Of course, we're
You bring the bubbles and he's got the bath.
Woo.
I do. You're right. We got a lot of freestanding tubs. I got a lot of bubbles I got to put in
That
there.
would be fun, wouldn't it? If you had a little bubbler in one of your bathtubs.
Yeah, that'd be great. How do you get the water in and out of there?
Well, getting it out would be getting it in.
We
wouldn't be a
did
problem.
have, which would
Getting it
make
out is-
Deb happy. We had a party up at the Vero store when we first opened it with the Treasure Coast Builders, and I filled half the tub up with ice and threw all the
All the beer
beverages
in it?
and then we thought we had the drain in there, right?
Whoops.
And you didn't?
No, we didn't, and it was a wood floor, but we got it mopped up.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Did
it's
it?
all right.
Did it
We have
warp
a
up
s-
too?
No, it didn't. We were very fortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was fake wood. I don't know.
Well,
The
probably.
best thing is that your washing machine, fill it
Well-
with ice and put it in there.
Well, speaking of filling things up with ice, so
This is
World famous.
world. Yes, Mark. Breckbill.
World renowned
Yes.
Mark Breckbill.
you're
so-
not supposed to use my real name. on
okay.
this. It's not-
Mark
So-
the
Ichabod
Spark.
Crane.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll go with Icky. So, most of the stuff's Icky. But anyway, so I was working in Chicago back in the day, and I was with Arthur Anderson. We used to do audit parties after the audits were over with. We went out and we partied. And one of the places we went to was the Gaslight Club in Chicago. So now the Gaslight Club is very similar to the Playboy Club. A little bit more risque, but not bad. And so
Hard to imagine it could
Bad
be
gas?
more risque.
yeah, it was, but in those
Okay,
days,
all right.
the definition
was
of
a strip
risque is a
joint.
lot different. But no, it wasn't that bad. It was close. But anyway, so I went there and it's set up like a speakeasy, right? So you come in and you have to be
The
a
little
member. So
door,
you open the little slot and they let you in.
All
And
right,
so
it's all right.
we go in there and then so we're having fun and we go in and you go into the men's room, right? And so in the men's room is this long trough,
Oh,
just
like the ballpark.
Like they have at
just-
Wrigley.
just a long trough, right? And it's filled to the brim
With
with
ice.
right?
Absolutely.
And there's a sign above it that says, "We hardly ever use this ice in our drinks."
Wonderful.
We hardly ever.
Wonderful.
One of my favorite ones.
Only on the rare occasion.
Only on the rare occasions when they run loose.
That's
run
cool.
those. I know. I thought it was pretty neat. I also thought was pretty neat is there was a in the day there was the candy cigar lady, that
Right.
walked
Yeah.
around.
Cigars,
Right.
cigarettes,
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Tiparolas.
a couple of the staff guys were, kind of making some comments, and the partner on the job, he says, "You understand that she is a tax client of our tax division. You know that, don't you?" Well, in those days, have Anderson do your taxes, you were going to be making $100,000 a year or something. This is like in the
Yeah.
70s.
Back in the
And
day.
so-
Yeah, you bet.
She was making $100,000, and all these guys just looked at each other like, "You got to be kidding!" I mean, that
You got a nice pair of legs, and
I bought stuff.
She had all the matching accoutrements. Yes.
my father's sister was a Playboy bunny.
Okay.
Yeah, but she was not, Aunt Barb. She,
She wasn't Barbie Benton or one of those.
no, she was just a good person, and she's
Yeah.
still around.
Aw.
She's retired from I think it was Continental Airlines or something.
Oh, she was a stewardess.
She was just worked for them, and she's flies free everywhere. So
Yeah.
Good for her.
yeah, she's
Pretty good deal.
She's
Yeah.
got a maid. She's out in Phoenix, being a Wisconsin girl. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Does she allow you to? Can you like send other people's places? I mean, Frank could go
No,
somewhere.
no.
Can I
Frank-
do something?
Frank would just go to Detroit.
Send you to Timbuktu.
That's right.
He might go to Traverse City.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That's really upscale for him, though.
That
That's,
is.
that's pretty upscale.
That's,
Yeah.
It is.
It's a step up.
Hey,
no doubt.
speaking of that, how come you have an Astro hat on? What's the deal here?
It's a great story.
He traded. He threw in the Tigers,
Well, the
and he had.
Tigers, I don't know. They were playing the Astros today, and I think last I saw they tied 2-2. I go, all right, I'm gonna toss one. To
It's
the
a double header. They had a game at 3 and a game at 6 today.
Astros. A split squad.
hmm
That was a split squad.
The-
Yeah,
the
Could you turn
PSS.
my ears on?
I can. Yes.
Mine goes in and out, but that's okay.
I
That's my
hear
normal
you. I
hearing.
hear you.
I have to call,
How's
I'll have to
that?
call
Is that
Lydia
better?
Schmidt.
Oh,
and see
that's
if
a
she
little
can
better.
Okay.
Get my hearing tested.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Schmitz. Yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
I
Now it's
refer-
off completely. Good job. Oh, wait. Okay.
Is
I'm
it the equipment or what's under the equipment?
Mark,
It's under the
Are
equipment.
you going to
It's-
set a record for how many times you've been on this radio station?
Well,
For-
you know,
Well, he's on every week.
and
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Once is not enough.
So those days I used to offer to give you a ride, you just didn't want to be here.
that's right. You know, that's
I'll walk.
it's you know at some point it rises to the level of terrorist activity. Me being on the radio more than 2 times a week is like you can't do it.
I set this up just for you, Mark, by the way.
You did?
because-
Okay, great.
Because you told me you were going to, if it's going to work. I don't know. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
I love it. Technical difficulties.
Yes.
Not with Frank.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Love Machine? Oh, 10-4 pig pen. For sure. By golly, it's clean, clear to Taco Town. Yeah, we definitely got us the front door, good buddy. Mercy sakes alive, looks like we got us a convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he said thought he could break away, a little break
Away.
So I said,
Breaker.
yeah.
that.
So I said, okay. I'm always looking for some audio accompaniment for our special guests.
Well,
This is just for you.
I
How
appreciate
special is
that,
that?
and you know, it's always it's always a fun day for me, Frank, when I get to come here and give you a hard time.
Yes.
Well, don't forget to give Deb a hard time. 'cause that's
Deb's
what
she's helping me. I
Yeah,
mean,
she's-
she's on the
keeps-
attack mode.
she's
We're on the
kicking you
attack
under the
mode here.
table.
He's sorry he ever asked that this
Yes.
happened. Right?
Yes.
So,
Well,
this
I'm
is
glad
nice.
you're here, Mark. It's
Yeah.
good to see you.
Yeah.
you and not many other people.
Well, by the way, I got a call today from Roy Seike.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
checking in. Roy Seike. He's
From American Speedy
he
Printing.
used to have a printing shop.
Mhm.
He retired, sold it, and he comes in.
So he did all your
Business
$5 and
cards.
$10 bills. He could print them out.
Well, he
you know,
used to print the hundreds for me in the
Okay.
basement, like
It's-
Obama and
It's the
Democrats
goofy
did.
with
pictures
different
where the-
faces
yeah.
on them
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got $1 million bill.
with your face on it.
Now I can't remember whose is on it. I think it's a rabbit.
Yeah, I saw Roy this morning. He's in Kiwanis. He's in Kiwanis, Martin County,
Right.
and so he was there this morning. He was, Roy's the kind of guy that would try to, he would try to basically be trying to counterfeit $1 bills. I mean, that's kind of stuff he would do. But
Yeah,
but
he's
he,
a wonderful person.
he's a good guy. It's funny that Kiwanis Club is a group. It's a good group. But
Yeah.
and I'm currently the president-elect. Yes, I've been the president-elect now
For how many years?
about 10. and so what I am is the story about everybody can be an example even if it's a bad example, right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm what
I
keeps
thought that applied to me.
no. So that I'm what keeps that Kiwanis Club going. I am the president-elect, and if Jeff Carson, who's our president, ever leaves or resigns,
Mhm.
I'm the president. So I'm the fear that keeps them from.
Ah,
Everybody shows up. They make sure that doesn't happen. It's never going to transition.
So
I
I'm
thought
always-
maybe you couldn't go to the
he's
bathroom
the-
anymore
you're
when
the
they were-
Kamala Harris of
Yeah,
Kiwanis.
right.
That's exactly right. That's what my job is, just to scare people.
Hey, can I ask a silly question? Where's the Kiwanis meet? Martin County Kiwanis? Where do they meet?
The Kiwanis Club of Martin County meets in.
In room
In-
302 upstairs.
They meet at 2J's
Oh,
in
okay.
Stewart. Actually, for a long time, the Kiwanis Club of Martin County met in Stewart, and the Kiwanis Club of Stewart met in Martin County, which I thought was really kind of cool.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
That kind of
That's
sums
like
it up.
having 5 chambers.
Now,
Right.
how did the pancake breakfast? I was there. I love that. Susie
Yeah, that's the
Hutchinson
Stewart
was part of
Kiwanis
that.
Club.
You're part of that.
Well, that was the Stewart Club, but it was a great. They always do a great job. That's it's always around Dr. Seuss's birthday, so
it was all Dr. Seuss, and people were dressed up, and kids were dressed up, and I couldn't believe how many people were there.
Well, it's going to be, it was cool. I mean, they do, and I forget how many people. I think they served like 800, and
Wow.
the Key Club from the high schools. I think
Right?
both of them
They
were
were
out
there helping,
Yeah, and so
and then the No Boundaries and the new equipment for
Yeah, that's-
both part of the parks.
yeah,
were
that's
wonderful.
pretty cool. And I will mention, since you mentioned that, I think it's the 20th of April. I think that's a Saturday, but it's
Yeah.
right
Earth
there.
Day.
It's what it is we're going to dedicate a bench, a park bench over there to Ivan Monroe. Some people know Ivan.
Oh,
He's
sure.
been at he was
quality guy.
and he was big in Kiwanis, and he was really big in Kiwanis youth. I mean,
Mhm.
he actually was actively involved in starting what are called K Kids, which is the Kiwanis clubs in the elementary school to teach kids about social, about civic activities and giving back and all those kind of things.
Mm.
And he was active in that before Kiwanis International actually created those. And so we were one of the first places to have that. And so he's going to be here. There's a place where his bench is out near the street, but it's also near where there's all these bricks. If you've ever been to Kiwanis Park, there's all those bricks there, which, by the way, you can still buy bricks and have them put down. But we're going to, I think, eventually we're going to get some bricks there and do some things. All of his family, his daughters had stuff there, and all of the Key clubs and K Kids do. So it's going to be nice. And his daughters, 2 of his daughters, are going to be here for the presentation. So it should be a lot of fun.
Is he deceased?
Yes, he passed away a little while ago, and he was kind of like my big brother. I never had a big brother because I was the oldest, so he was my big brother. He kind of did all the things that big brothers do: smack you around.
This
and make
is
you,
why the way Mark is
That's
today.
exactly. And so yeah, he was a cool guy. He was a cool guy. He was
That's great.
yeah.
That's good. By the way, I forgot to tell you before
Me,
we
Deb?
left that day that I was going to be riding across the state. Had to go to a memorial service in Naples
Oh wow.
that started at 11.
Oh, wow.
And Dee Dee drove, so we had to leave at 5 a.m. to go to. We're there. I drove the speed limit. Oh, that's great. Yeah, but anyways, that's where we left to go over there at 7 a.m. and we got home at 5 p.m.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and we
That's a
even
long
went to
way.
Service. It is.
But what's 3 hours each way?
But it's beautiful. I mean, it's cool being back on those roads, seeing all the way people kind of live differently.
So
Yes.
you went which way? You went over
We went
60
70
or 70?
then
Right.
down 31 to go be parallel, and then
Yeah.
we drove out to 75, and
I went Alligator Alley.
yeah, I would, I can see that.
It was a good trip. I had to go over there for a meeting not too long ago, and it was but it is boring. I mean, it's 90 minutes of nothing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no bathrooms either, by the way.
No, that's
Well,
And
right.
that's very important.
No,
to me.
that's why you carry paper towels and toilet paper and
And-
plastic bags in
I
your
just-
car.
And diapers.
I swing 2 doors out and then hide
Empty,
behind one.
empty water bottles work.
Well, for
No.
guys, but not for girls.
No, you have to use a peanut butter jar for girls. Dee Dee has one in the car.
We're exposing a lot of things on this
I
show.
know. Wow.
More
Yeah,
than
but,
probably most of
I
our
have to
listeners
tell
really
you,
care to hear.
During COVID,
It's not Mickey Mouse, people.
No, and this, my wife is in Orlando, so I don't have to worry about her hearing the
Oh,
show.
good. Well, I'll
You'll send it
You'll
to
send
me,
her a
and
copy.
I'll make sure you got to listen to the part at minute number.
What is her?
20.
Is Dee and Debbie up there walking? in Orlando?
No, Debbie's probably looking for somebody to walk with here. But
Aw.
Dee Dee, they, anyways, we were down at my doctor when I had my left ankle operated on,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
he's down in, I don't know where it was, Memorial Hospital,
Yes.
somewhere down there. Anyways, we,
So it's at Jackson Memorial?
No,
well, actually, we had to,
it's-
no.
it's-
This is where we had to go to his office before
Right,
the office that I was arguing with that time. You found the real one, but anyways, we're down there, and they wouldn't let her come in. You couldn't come in the office because of COVID, and so I could go in, and of course she's waiting in the car, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I said, just go behind the trash bins over there behind that, behind the big brick wall, As soon as she goes back there, the damn garbage truck showed up.
Oh, I was gonna say the sprinklers turned
And
on.
she's back there, and she comes
Oh.
walking out, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but they wouldn't let her come in there was nowhere to go, and all these people had to wait in the cars for their
Been there, done that.
yeah.
It's
So
not a pleasant process during COVID.
no, but we just never leave home without the urinal or whatever.
That's right. Well, and I think it's appropriate we talk about those things on the show. I mean, you do this for a living. I
Well,
mean,
these are things that people can relate to.
Well, we know, Mark, when you're standing, you're a peeing.
Yeah.
So
that's right. That's true. So yeah, that's good. I
just,
mean,
just so we agree on
And if you
something.
go to
Right.
John's, European.
that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I always thought was funny was John tells you about how many times a month somebody sits on one of those and decides to go because they think they're real. I mean, it's like,
Well, fortunately, we do have a real one in the real bathroom, and that one's kind of cool because the lid comes up when you step in front of it. The seat doesn't go up, so it's kind of
hit or
favoring
miss.
women.
It's kind of hit or miss. at
Then
that
you
point.
just have to lift it. It is hit or miss, and if you miss, you got to get something to hit
What
it
was
with.
the sign you had out there? Was it around
It was just a couple
Halloween or
weeks-
something?
Well, right now we have, actually, I can remember this one because
Yeah.
my mom came up with it a few years ago and we got in trouble. So anyways, it's
No.
Happy St. Potty's Bidet.
Oh,
That's
I like that.
good.
That was a good one.
And we had the,
I think that's
we had some,
outstanding.
we're waiting for the call. There's a
Outs-
couple
Why,
Catholic women
there's
out
nothing
there.
wrong with that.
Well, they think that we're being sacrilegious towards the
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
Oh no, you're not. Did
I
you say?
know.
And we flow green water.
Right.
Well, I told them, I said, hey, my 83-year-old mother came up with that, and every year I honor her by putting that up on the board. So
I think it should say up there when it comes time to drain the snake.
do it here.
That's what he was for, right?
Yeah, no lines. Yeah, we've got a few on the floor.
So I
used to-
get the snake reference because he chased the snakes
Snakes
out of
away
Ireland.
Ireland.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I
So,
get it. That
yeah.
didn't go by me. That was good.
Well,
I thought it was it snakes or was it the mice?
No, it was
no.
snakes.
that's a pipe. You think of the Pied Piper? That was
Oh, okay. The Pied Piper.
he was Protestant.
I have
This
one
guy
of-
was Catholic.
one of my business friends who I go over to his house once a month. He's got rubber snakes on his front porch to scare the lizards away. I stood there and went, wow, look at that little rat snake. He's kind of curled up good. And then I realized it wasn't doing anything. And then there was some fancy green thing that was like a piece of art. That wasn't going to scare anything, even me. But anyways, that's
Yeah,
part of the
my
deal.
my grandson came to me said to me the other day, they got like pets galore, and he says, I really need a snake, pop up. I really need
Oh.
a snake. And I said, no, we don't really need a snake. We're not doing
My
snakes.
If he needs a
granddaughter
snake,
has an albino snake. It's
Why?
because she wanted it, and my daughter.
That way,
bought
if it gets
for-
loose, you know it's yours.
And the parents said yes.
my daughter bought it for. I actually went to the pet store and visited with them the day that they
Oh.
went and got the snake, and then every week or two they go to the pet store to get a little.
Thing
Mouse.
of the
Baby
worms.
mouse.
Oh, a mouse.
Oh yeah,
No, I
To feed 'em to
couldn't
the
do
snake.
What kind of
Uh,
snake is
That's
it?
what I like.
that. What kind of snake is it?
It's
A gardener snake? A
It
rat
must
snake?
be a
I,
An
must be a-
albino?
it's albino.
It's an albino snake that eats rats,
Yeah,
baby
there it is.
rats.
There it is.
So I think that's a good idea. I think
You know,
get those kids started at a young age. Let's teach them about that. Come on. Here's the little mouse. Let's play. Gone.
Gone.
yeah. Did you drop it in by its tail, or did you just let it run
No,
around?
you just let it run
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
and they decide they dance around it, and they have a whole little thing that
I'm
they
not-
do with it.
You got
Yeah.
one of those in your store or something?
I had a rat in my air conditioning
but that's
inside the shop, not outside.
not running
in the air.
around.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, it died in there.
And Did
It was
Did
awful.
the smell come in?
Oh my God! We
It's
turned
terrible,
the heat
isn't
on.
it?
It was a cold night. I turned the heat on, and I was like,
Woo!
"Whoa, wee!"
No, it's like turning the toaster oven on with a
Oh.
rat in it.
It
Well,
was,
you know-
it was burnt.
It has a special je ne sais quoi.
Uh, Ratte c'est quoi?
Yes.
French, you know French. That's great.
Yeah, we.
They
we
put them on
Oui,
a
oui.
stick.
We're back to the beginning.
Yeah, we're back to the wee wee.
I'll get you to the toilet every time. Trust me.
Man, you should be working for us.
I know. That's right. I'll
Well,
lead right into
I
this.
guess.
Hey,
Then
uh,
you wouldn't have to pay the big
I'll
payment.
get you a
I know.
T-shirt.
That's right.
I'll get you a T-shirt.
Did I told you we're going to play a new game today, right? We're playing How Fast is Frank? And so, just for the listeners, they may not know that there's no delay on this show.
No.
If you-
No,
Oh no.
There's no delay on the show. So
Oh.
the only way you can keep stuff from now, see, he should have been ready. The only way you can keep stuff from getting on the air
Yeah.
is Frank has to push this little red button over here within a certain period of time
right.
to cut us off, right?
isn't it like 10 seconds?
So yes,
delay?
so what we should do
Yeah.
is see how we can trick Frank, right? Or maybe just make him look bad.
Or just turn off
Your
your
mother.
mic.
Well, I think John does it every week because he says something and he says, "Was I supposed to say that?" And Frank said, "You just did."
Well, yeah,
I
that's
learned
right.
He
that.
missed the button.
I think Mark trained me on
I
that.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I learned from the best.
Yes.
I learned from Tommy Teeter,
Yeah.
and that guy, and he didn't do it on purpose.
No.
I can tell you
It's
that
the way he taught.
I did a few shows with them, back in the day
Hmm.
when both him and Melman were alive,
Wow.
and Tommy was he was fun. He was a consummate newsman. He
Yes.
was very good at that. But the stuff that came out sometimes of his mouth was just funny. The
Yeah.
good thing is not many people are listening at 6:00 in the morning,
No,
6:05
no.
or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Just starting to dribble
That's
in.
what I've
but-
told Frank before that.
Back to the
Carolyn
back to
Davy.
the bathroom reference.
Carolyn
back-
Davy from the Palm City Chamber when I was president.
Yeah.
She would get so nervous she'd sit in the front table and just worry what was coming out of my mouth because I said,
Well, you never know what kind of you're going to be talking
"I
about,
know
right?
that's right."
Frank, did you get the button there?
Yeah,
You know what?
it was a
But
pump
this-
fake.
This is a good opportunity for us to
I
toss
take
it.
a break.
Yeah. So, Mark, you want to do the toss? You know what doing a toss is? You've been in radio for a long time. You want to do the toss?
Yes, go ahead.
Say, take it away.
Take it away, Frankie.
All right.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around, round, round, I get around.
So when you think about spring break, don't you think about the Beach Boys?
I do.
Oh, a net full of Jello.
Yeah, that's
and,
I'm
you know,
thinking about a net Funicello.
Yeah.
I don't get anywhere near that other.
That
I'm
the
thinking about-
Alpha Room in Fort
I'll
Lauderdale.
tell you.
But it's still there.
That's right.
The
They've
elbow room?
revamped it so many times, but it's still there.
Road trip. Let's go.
Where is it?
We're going
It's right
live.
where it was.
from-
It's right there on
Road
Fort
trip.
Lauderdale Beach. I don't know if it's on the corner, what corner it's on. I can't remember. It's Sunrise, maybe. Could be. No, not Las Olas.
Fort Lauderdale Beach, not Lauderdale on the beach, not by the sea.
No, Lauderdale by the Sea is north. That's where the Sea
Oh.
Watch restaurant is.
Okay.
But when I was down there in the 70s, it was like you could go to the beach, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, your car was still there, nothing happened to you.
That is
No
now.
That
wonder-
doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
No wonder.
It's only one way north and one way south. They switched it around.
Wow. Did you ever party down there?
No.
No.
I'm a teetotaler. I don't do anything. I'm kind of boring.
I'm a teetotaler too.
I just sit around. And,
But what kind of tea do you total?
well, that's the
I don't,
thing.
I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna
Most of
total.
mine
You
is
know,
made
if it's
by-
a Long Island iced tea, then you're pretty real crocked after a
I,
couple of them.
I got
Yeah, most of mine is my tea is mostly from Tanqueray.
yeah, that's good. Mine's,
There you go.
mine's from Tito's. Tito's and ice, and then a couple of olives, so I get some
Yeah.
vegetables.
I always wanted to have I wanted to always have a gluten allergy because Tito's is gluten free. So
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
well, there-
I
No.
wanted to be able to drink it because I figure it's free if you have gluten allergy.
Well,
It's
I didn't
gluten-free.
realize I wasn't gluten tolerant until I did some things with our friend Michelle.
Yeah.
She's a functional medicine doctor. I did this with her back in 2018, and when I was having all my personal issues, I called her and she goes, "Don't you remember that you can't eat gluten?" And I pulled out my book from all my studies from 2018, and she goes, "See that in there?" I go, "Oh no."
See,
So
here we are
Oh,
back
and
to the
it's a
start
big
again.
Problem. I have several friends that can't eat gluten, and when they do, it's serious.
They need a good potty.
is that what happened? I don't know.
My one girlfriend
Right,
ended
it's true.
up in the hospital.
Well, we got good
A
potty.
bidet.
Yeah. St. Potty's bidet.
That's what we
We
need.
haven't quit selling them. We have these washlet seats anywhere from about 650 to, well, if you're staying white, which most toilets are.
You know, John, you could make a fortune if you can invent something that that keeps guys, little guys or big guys, from peeing all around the bottom of that base, right?
Yeah.
Because there are women out there that are really ticked with cleaning that up. And I guarantee you, every one of them will get you to change your toilet if there was something that would keep men and little kids.
It's called a pea shooter.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Petey invented it.
You know, I mean, when I was younger, they used to put targets in there, right? Floating targets.
Yeah,
Remember?
right,
how
right,
you do
right,
that? Yeah,
yeah.
So give you something to aim at. But
Poor
but
Debbie
at my age, it's not.
They're white
I'm not hitting
mints.
anything.
I thought they were
Debbie's having a
mints.
migraine right now.
I thought they were mints,
Poor Debbie.
blue or white.
That's
right.
right. They float. See what
Yeah,
happens.
little hockey
Put little
puck.
Well,
boats in
it
there.
must be fun growing up in a house of boys because
It
we
It
had
is.
my sister and I, we never had targets like that.
Right.
That's
Well,
fun.
you know,
But you know,
this
But
is-
that's a good scenario.
when you have a little guy, so you have a little step stool,
Right.
And what we would do, because
you're going to whiz
economy,
all over.
so we would take just one or two sheets of TP and just let it float in the middle of the bowl and say, aim for that.
So
That's
you'd
all.
start out hitting the top of the tank, and then you'd push it down.
But
right.
but it's great when you're training a little guy, you know.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
big guy.
Well,
That's
that's another story.
Then you got the pens.
Yes.
It
Yes.
depends
That's-
on where it's going.
yeah. I
That's
don't
right.
want to. I don't want to be there yet.
no, it's
I'll-
getting closer
I'll
though.
go sit on
I'm
that.
sorry, John. It's getting closer.
That's okay. That's all right.
But we'll get there someday.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
I know.
Thanks for your
I'm
support.
encouraging. It won't be long. But anyway, I'll come and visit you though. So so
We're
you
the
won't-
same age, aren't
Yeah,
we? I think we are.
Yeah, but you look a lot worse than me.
I do.
I mean, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
my.
No, I will agree with that. You don't have bags under your eyes like I do.
They're both 55 years old. I have like 15 years on them, and,
Yeah.
and they're talking like that. I must look pretty well.
Oof.
let's stick
You
with
look
55.
great. You
Yeah,
look great. 55 would be cool. I remember when I was doing double nickels.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think I was still swinging from the shelving like a monkey. Now
Nice.
Oh, I
can't even-
was back at 55.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I'm still doing it at my age.
You know,
I know
Yeah.
you are. The way you fire out of here on Friday nights.
that's right. I like that. You know, I'm coming to that age that is the ironic age. You know what that age is?
Ironic.
The ironic age for a man.
Hmm.
69.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. Why is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite
It's
number.
just an ironic age.
Yes. It
Yeah,
is.
I
It's a
got that.
dream.
Right.
That is for sure.
Yes.
And we're dry. But anyway,
Don't
Yeah.
let me go backwards on that one.
No. No.
let's start
No,
that sequence
let's-
over.
let's
Did
not
you get
do
that
the hand
recorded?
jive.
Let's play that
What,
one
you're
back.
going to do the hand jive?
And jive, you had me for a
Well-
minute there.
You know, it's
This is a family show, right,
Oh,
Frank?
it's-
Lord.
We're not saying.
I'm-
Has the beeper gone off
I'm,
yet?
No.
I'm sweating though. I am
And
sweating.
Frank's not. tapping
We're-
the
we're
button.
waiting-
You
we're
know,
waiting.
There's no button.
The air
we're waiting for the
conditioning-
phone to ring because
air
the good thing
conditioning-
is
Pump City Charlie?
that
Yeah, Charlie, where are you, man?
Oh, my
I know,
God.
and the good thing is that that Carol has already gone home at this time of night. So I don't-
Hopefully, yeah, they're always looking at us.
yeah, so, but
I had to call up
Just
there
wait.
the other day and tell them I sent them $13,000 by mistake. And fortunately, Greg said after I told him, he said, "I got to give you to Carol."
They already spent it. They're on their way to Hawaii.
Yeah,
but this show will go on for a long, long, long time.
that's what Frank's hoping.
Yes.
I can only support him so much.
That's
You know,
it.
He supports me, but
Wow. Well,
the women over at my store love Frank. He's
Do they?
welcome over there.
Well, why? They
anytime.
pat him on the head.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
Nice
do.
boy.
They sit
Good
there.
boy.
Hi, little
they're on,
Frank's here.
Hi, Frank's here. Hey, Frank, will you crawl under that thing and get that display going again?
Right.
Yeah,
I've done that.
Frank's got multiple skills. I don't know if you guys know that,
Oh,
but
amazing.
he's got multiple skills.
I can cheese off many people at the same time.
well, no, I mean,
That's easy.
well, that's true. I mean, but you're one of the best straight men in the world. But beyond
Yes.
that, he does pest control. I mean, he's not licensed, but he
Don't
he knows
tell
how
that on the
he
air.
knows how to get rid of rats. He knows how to get rid of
he
snakes.
knows how to fix cars.
I mean,
Well,
he can
you
do
know-
all that
you know,
stuff.
when you're-
Bats.
When
He's
you're a
class-
landlord, you have to do it, or a homeowner, you have to learn how to do all those things.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
there's
like
certain
what-
things I won't do. I called Frank up. I said, I'm not doing this.
How about this one? We have a cat that came from somewhere,
Hmm.
feral. Because we have 40,000 feral cats in Martin
Your cat's
County.
name's Farrell?
No,
Oh, sorry.
Blackie.
Oh, okay.
No,
we should name
Jeez,
it.
we had a-
how?
We
You
did
missed
have
your
a-
John. You missed your opportunity. You should have named the cat Fawcett.
Yeah, it's because we had
Fawcett?
one before
Feral Fawcett.
Farrell.
Feral Fawcett.
That's a good one. I
Yeah.
like that
We
one.
can
Thanks
still
for being
do it,
my-
That was
and
good, Frank.
it's going to show back up, Frank.
Mark, thanks for being my straight man.
No, that's good. Yeah, I like that
That
one.
was
I
really
like
good.
that.
I thought you were going to say name it Toto. Well, we already had one of those.
Yeah, no.
We had apparently before I came here, the building next door to us had a fire, and all the critters ran over to our building. So my dad said we need to get a mouse or cat. So they get a cat, a tabby cat, I guess, with the brown ones, and he calls it a mouser.
Yes.
Well, Toto had a box in the faucet room to do his duty in, and he'd sleep in the sinks, and then when people woke him up, he'd
Yeah, kind of.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody wakes me up, I'll smack him too.
so we had
I
mercy.
got claws.
Yeah.
I don't cut my nails for a while.
Well, anyways, we finally got rid of Toto. We had Nurse Ratchet come in, and she got taken. It's going to sue us.
That's what's going to happen to me.
Judge-
Come get me
when
and
the
drag
judge
me out.
found out she wasn't working, she said, "Sorry, lady, you can't sue these people." We tried to take care of her early on, but anyways, the cat went home with my sister, and now we had this little black and white cat that we saw hanging around, and it ran up the stairs and had a kitty cat in its mouth. Well, it moved 6 kitty cats from where she had them out somewhere.
Oh, so now you got a litter. That's nice.
They're right up above my office. I can hear and all this stuff, and and then I could tell by the friskies on the floor that they, anyways, called animal control. They came and took the mama, fixed it, and I don't know if she got. Can you, after you get fixed, can you be reunited with the
No.
kid?
Yes, they usually bring them back to where they were.
Can they?
Oh, yeah?
Still I guess they can. So,
Huh.
anyway,
Who'd want to? I mean, why do you want to reunite? with
well,
your
you
kids?
know, you hear all this above
Well,
my.
he hears the scampering of the little.
I could hear the meowing.
Yeah, those were the mice in the ceiling up above here. So
Yeah, right.
that's all.
right.
They were the rats crawling in the ceiling.
Yeah.
So speaking of rats, Frankie knows this one. So because he used to own the property. So many of you that are old timers here will remember Jake's. No,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's-
God,
yeah,
yes.
Jake's is down now where
You guys must be old timers.
Mm.
now
where
it's hard.
Dogs is.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
there, right.
the
Well,
building next door was Jake's.
Jake's, yeah.
And that's a professional building.
So that building, when they finally closed it down,
Mm.
or closed it up, it wasn't health problems. It was just they closed it, and before they were remodeling it, of course, there was bats and rats all over the place. But it was interesting because in the day when they first cleaned up Jake's, Sunshine owned it. Johnson, I think, was it? Didn't
Oh,
she
yeah.
own it
Sunshine?
at that time?
I didn't know she actually owned that property.
I thought she did, but maybe not. But anyway,
It's
They-
a real name.
they
Sunshine
decided. I'm
Johnson.
talking about your place, not Jake's. I'm talking about your.
She was renting the Victorian. from
Okay,
me.
so at the time they cleaned out Jake's, they decided to get that all out. All of the rats that were over there went down through the system
Hmm.
and all popped up over here at the Victorian, the
Mhm.
old Victorian. Remember that?
Oh.
It was a treat.
Sunshine told me she actually saw the rats marching down the street here.
Isn't that cool?
Hey, it says walk.
Without,
That's right. Get back to the good old days.
without the Pied Piper, but they were just marching right down the street right here behind the
Crazy.
studio here.
See, that's
Yeah.
it. You know, and people say, you know, we've changed too much, and we should go back to the old days. Yeah, I like that. We
My-
are near a river. That's a problem.
My favorite story about wild animals in downtown Stewart is when I was president of the Stewart Sundowner Kiwanis Club.
That's right.
The Okeechobee Club.
Do you still have sundowners? I
No.
kind of
Well,
thought that might be the
that's
case.
another
but,
story,
but
yes.
never
That's
mind.
where
Keep
they
going.
fall asleep at 3 p.m. in
Yeah.
the afternoon.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Few
yeah.
cocktails.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So the Okeechobee Club decided to come and visit with us and do what they call an interclub,
Uh-oh.
which is required. You're supposed to visit with other clubs, within a certain period of time. Anyway, so they came by and they were kind enough to drop off with us a piney wood rooter, which is
A tiny root
a
rooter.
piney
Piney wood.
A piney
Wood-
wood rooter,
wood
which is a
rooter.
specific name for a pig.
A what?
A pig.
Really? That was when
PIG.
they passed the hog around. I mean, it started as a pig,
Yep,
became hog,
it started,
remember that
It
one.
started in Okeechobee, and
and then it got finished in Okeechobee.
no, I think Port St. Lucie.
No, I think they
So what
had the
happened?
barbecue
They-
in
they-
Port-
Okeechobee.
Well, I think Port St. Lucie Club interclubbed with Okeechobee.
Yeah, it was the last one, and then then we had a barbecue.
Right.
It was great.
Ziggy the pig.
Thing they ended up trailering it. It was so big, so huge. But I had brought it, so nobody wanted it, and it was in a little cage thing, which will only last 5 minutes. So I took it home, and it just messed up the garage something fierce. And so the soon-to-be ex-wife said to me, "Either you go or the pig goes." I said, "All right." Well, I thought about it. So, but I took the pig away, and
Little did you know.
right. So, anyways, then so I brought it to my shop, and at that time I had a screened-in back porch at the shop,
Oh, that'll work great.
which the feather porch lasted less than a minute.
Right.
But I was in a hurry. I had to business to run, so I let the pig loose inside the screened-in enclosure.
This
What-
this doesn't
go
bode
through the
well for the
screen?
rest of this story, does
No.
it?
What can go wrong?
Right, what can go wrong? That's right.
So I get a phone call, and it's from the Stewart PD, and this is, "We've got a pig here, and we're told it might belong to you."
Oh my God.
Now, see, that's amazing. First of all, that the Stewart PD would know that Frank was the one that
It's
might own a
small town
pig.
back
Right.
then, yeah. How small
Well,
is
they
it?
Right.
could probably smell it all the way back
Oh
home.
my God, it went wee all the way.
It was
home.
one of
That's
those
right.
big dudes. It became one of those big
Oh,
ones.
just ginormous.
They
Yeah,
800 pounds, I think. They had a trailer.
I'm sure.
That's
Yeah, it
big.
was
Oh,
it was
it a
big.
wild hog?
No, it was
No, it was a
It's a
domestic
piney
hog.
wood rooter.
yes.
Piney
It
wood.
was lunch someday later.
Yes.
Is what it was.
No, but I've
It was for
raised
the Okeechobee
pigs.
Club's lunch.
my Dee Dee's had an uncle who had a 600-acre farm out in James River County, which is outside Williamsburg.
Hmm.
and he raised those big pigs, and we'd be there for a family reunion, and all the flies were coming over on the food, and you know where they were coming from.
Yeah, all the pictures.
The pig barns.
You know, and after this break, I'm going to pull together the pigs and the Playboy Club in one solid thing. So just a little
Oh,
teaser for the
Stay
break.
tuned.
All right.
We'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, all right.
For Almond Joy.
Little Van Halen is a bumper music there. Okay. You still trying to get connected?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I
Have
saw you
ever-
unplug
have
it.
you ever been connected?
No,
Mark?
I've never
I mean-
made it to the end of the show without being unplugged. You know, they don't let me go that
we
long.
like that unplugged.
Mark
I know,
Unplugged.
unplugged.
And he's going to do it here in a minute. 'cause
Friday
he's,
unplugged. I-
He's going to do the Playboy Club and the
And
pig.
pigs. Okay, so I'll tie those two together. Only I can tie those things together, right?
Yeah.
I
Right.
have a story. So when I was a junior in high school, believe it or not, I actually didn't fail all of my classes,
Well, that's a good thing.
but I had dropped out of my
Home
honors or my
Home ec, yeah.
gifted English. How's that? You know, I got really. It's hard to believe that I did that, and so a friend of mine did too. So we got put into. We were juniors, but we were doing senior English. So we got put into a class with seniors, so what was interesting is we had a new teacher that year, and I remember this teacher, and she was amazing.
How amazing was she?
Well,
speaking.
very, very amazing. And now that I'm older, I give her more credit. But it turned out that she had been in Playboy magazine, a centerfold.
Wow.
That doesn't go well with senior boys
No.
because no matter the fact that nobody said anything about it, everybody knew about it. And
Oh, I'm sure you took
So-
care of
And
it
did they
then.
pass around her picture?
yes, it got put up on the board.
Yeah.
So we're in this class, right? And so she's finally got into year. One thing that was interesting about her, and again, I'm going to tell you from a 17-year-old boy perspective, right?
Like,
Because we thought this was.
and
I
you're
mean,
still
she-
17.
Yeah, I am really, but anyway, she was very.
I am really.
I am really.
But she was very cute. I mean, she was very good looking and everything. But On Monday, she
has
would-
to be.
well,
Right.
she claimed. Now
Yeah.
her argument was that she was that they
took
that wasn't
pictures.
her.
There
that-
was pictures were
they-
taken without her knowledge.
Right, that they put her face on somebody else's body. That
Okay.
was not her. She
Okay.
claimed she never posed, that somebody airbrushed it in or something, which was hard to believe in 1972. But
right.
but anyway, so she starts on a Monday. On a Monday, she'd come in. She looked great. Her hair was fantastic, and then Tuesday the hair was a little less fantastic. And then Wednesday, she was wearing a wig. And then Thursday, she still had the wig. And Friday, you didn't even want to ask what it was under
It
there.
reminds me of that Seinfeld episode, right? One of
Really?
them.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so you know, boys, we were cruel. You know, I wasn't.
oh,
I
no, we-
wasn't. But
High
senior boys. I
Oh,
was a
he's going to
junior.
make you think he
I was a
wasn't.
junior, but
But he still had a mind.
yes, I did. But it turned out that the reason she was like that, every night after school, she was working on her master's. And so she was going out to school, back to school. And so she didn't have time to get back between all the stuff she had to do. That's why her hair didn't get done as well as it could. But we were cruel. So now let's bring the pigs into
How
this thing.
cruel were you?
So I had a good friend of mine. Like I said, he and I were in the same class, and he used to sit up in the very front row with his seat, with his boots hanging out over the front of the seat, out the chair. And he, in high school, he raised hogs to make money. And in fact, he made a lot of money. He had the best car in school. You know, he had all that stuff. He made a lot of money raising
Was
hogs.
his
But
nickname Hog?
he
I
sure
had a
did,
guy
right?
in high school. His
Is
name
Hoggy?
was Hog.
Yeah, this guy was his
Er-
name was Bob. His name was Bob Feeney, I think was the
Oh, that's
individual.
a
He-
farmer's name.
yeah, he ultimately became. He went to the University of Illinois. University of Illinois, got a degree in
And
ag,
hogs.
in ag,
Sound a little bit
yeah,
like-
in hogs.
Reminds me
And,
of Mel Famey.
And he actually goes all over the world now.
Mm.
He travels all over the world in various places with exotic animals and stuff that he takes care of. But anyway, so he would sit
Mm.
there with his feet, and he had these boots, and they were caked with hog crap. Right. So he would put them out in front so they'd be right in front of her so she
Oh.
could smell them,
Oh,
right?
and the smell.
So
Nice.
yeah. So
Nice.
then, but the great thing about Bob, and the thing that made him really kind of cool, is that every, like, at least once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, he would leave class. Like after 5 minutes into the class, he would leave, and the teacher's like, "Where are you going?" And he says, "Well, you know, one of my sows is getting ready to deliver, and I have to go there and help her with the delivery." Well, for those of you that are city folks, they don't need any help. They do it
No.
all
All
by
on their own.
themselves.
Yes, they
it
do.
all by themselves.
Right.
And so he, every
Excuse.
so often, he got two classes because he had you know, like a homeroom type class after that. So for you know, a couple times a week, he always was somewhere else. You know, and I admired that guy. I thought he was really good.
You can do the same thing if you're on the golf team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would never have to go to English in the afternoon. I didn't.
You
I
know,
always got out.
well, you know, because Frankie's a big baseball fan. So when I was in school, I had played freshman baseball, and I was, when I was a sophomore, the coach was going to bring me up to the varsity. There was like 4 or 5 of us. So
We're
gonna
like
go
the
up.
same guy.
Right. So I was going to go up to varsity, and then but what happened is the coach got fired. Probably because he's going to bring guys like me up to varsity. I don't know. I'm just saying that
Brett
could
Miller, are you
that
kidding?
could be part of it.
They
Like-
saw the roster and they
That's right.
said, "Yeah,
Yeah, this-
we have to fix this."
So,
So-
I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the right away, but eventually he brought me up. Well, if you're playing baseball, because they have to leave for the games, and you got to get it done before it gets dark, right?
Yeah.
So you had classes, you had PE at the end of the day, you had the study hall or whatever, so that you could go.
PE.
Yeah,
That's like my favorite class.
I know it was mine too, but
yeah.
you know, but anyway, so they would have all those. Well, I wasn't supposed to be on the varsity team, and so my class, fifth period or whatever, was chemistry. And so it's hard to do chemistry when you never show up, you know.
Yeah,
you can't do
right.
the labs
No,
and
you
everything.
can't.
But I did get an A because the teacher was a really big baseball fan, and so I had a good year. So he was very, very kind to me. But I always thought that was kind of hilarious because I missed 2 or 3 classes every single day. I mean, just
Yeah.
for practice,
No,
I
it's
missed
great.
class. You know, it was
It's
great. Yeah,
No, it was, you know, I recommend you back in the day, you play
Try it.
sports.
that's
You
right.
know, I had 2 out of 3 different seasons. I got out early at golf. They switched golf to a fall sport my freshman year. So I played golf in the fall in Michigan. Of course, you start, you know,
What can go wrong?
and then all my friends were playing football. They're up, you know, they're all getting their butts beat on the field. And I'm up in the stands hanging out with the ladies.
Nice.
And then was
That's hard to believe.
Then I
but
had
let's
the
go
same-
there.
Well, I had hair. I looked like John Tesh back then.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, with hair and everything. I
Wow.
just couldn't play the piano or sing.
That's amazing.
And my girlfriend and I were the head of our art department for junior and senior year.
Oh,
And
that's
anytime that there was a play, anytime there was a prom, we got carte blanche. We could cut class
Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as we
sure.
kept our grades up. And so her and I would be all around the school all afternoon doing all this other stuff. And we never
and
had to
you
go
were
to
good at
class.
that. You were good at that.
I was.
By the way,
I-
do you have
I still
anything
am.
to share with us for this weekend or
Well, we only got a minute.
Yes.
That Port St. Lucie is having their St. Patty's Day up at Mid Atlantic.
their bidet
Their bidet, St. Patty's
Party.
Day bidet
party?
at the Mid Atlantic Center tomorrow from, I think it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock till 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Wow.
And that's about it. That's
Keep
going
going.
on.
Is that it? Because we still have a minute.
Well,
left.
I do want to thank you guys for allowing me to come in here and sit in, you know,
Yeah.
and
It's fun
We
having you,
love it.
Art.
I
This was
love
fun.
it. It reminds me of old times. We had a really good
Well,
time.
we're
of the day.
old, so
We're-
these
we're-
are great times.
That's right. It's and you know, it's the funny thing about this show is that it doesn't make any difference if you get senile or you know,
Nobody knows.
nobody knows,
Yeah,
and nobody's
just-
going to remember after 10 minutes
And-
anyway.
No, they
and
won't.
it's fun for the people driving home.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, keep it on.
Just-
keep
yeah.
it
Just
between
Drive
lines.
safely.
That's right.
That's right.
It's St. Patty's Day. Everyone's Irish. Remember that. Everyone's going to drink beer or green stuff.
I'm gonna stop and get some green bottles that say 0.0, and then I'll get some bottles that don't say that.
Okay. All right. Very good. We'll
Thanks,
see you here
Frank.
next week. Thank
Ciao
you.
for
John.
now.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Mark.
Mark.
Have a great
Thanks,
night.
Deb.
Bye.
Everybody,
Thanks, Mark.
take care.
That was fun.
How's your